Good evening and welcome to Durham College's 6th Annual Journalism Awards. For those of you who I have not met, I'm Brian Legree, coordinator of the journalism program. I would like to offer special greetings to any parents, other family members, and friends of students who are in the program who are joining us this evening. I hope you are doing okay. It is great to have you with us and hope you are comfortable wherever you are joining us. I would like to thank special guests joining us online this evening. Members of the Durham College leadership team, including School President Don Lovisa, the Dean of the School of Media, Art and Design, Greg Murphy, the Associate Dean of the School of Media, Art and Design, Maureen Fearon-Tapper. A special welcome to our Journalism Program Advisory Committee members, Rika Zekeli, Dave McIntosh, Shannon McFadden, Nicole O'Brien, Alex Debitz, John Cook, Jason Miller, Annalisa Kozma, Manjula Selvaraja, and Megan Secord. These people work at a variety of professional outlets, including the Toronto Star, Metroland, CBC TV and CBC Radio, The Score, 94.9 The Rock, Discovery Canada, and the City of Oshawa. And they take time to offer their expertise and experience to our program, and it is greatly appreciated. A special welcome to Lynn and Alana Sutcliffe, who will be more formally introduced shortly. A special shout out tonight to Dan McAnally, Evan Halbert, and Eldon Atkin of Riot Radio, who helped get our show to air professionally all year long and went out of their way to help us promote the show. I'd also like to thank faculty members Teresa Goff and Danielle Harder for putting this evening together. Well, what a year this has been. I was going to say more here, but really, do I need to? I would, however, like to credit each and every student in all 3 years of our program for showing the ability to adapt and innovate to address challenges in the wake of COVID-19. Those qualities of being flexible and creative will serve you well in journalism or any other career in which you find yourself. The first-year group persevered from a variety of places around the world to produce several quality stories that are now on our website. Our second and third-year students have had to overcome, for the most part, huge field placement disappointment and move on to a plan B in order to earn their diplomas. Some were able to carry on remotely with existing field placements, but others who had placements lined up at places such as CBC, Global TV, the City of Oshawa, Ontario Tech, the International Ice Hockey Federation, and Metroland have had to pivot to do their placement time. But we are making it work. When you reflect on the year, including newsroom time and assignments, you have produced about 300 pieces of publishable material on our website. Plus, both the second and third year students each produced weekly hour-long shows on Riot Radio. Plus, you populated our Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and my new fave, TikTok accounts. Our first year group has just got a taste of this process, and we'll get more of it starting in the fall. So as we reach the finish line of the school year, I would like to offer my sincere congratulations to each and every one of you. It's been a lot of work, but I think you will acknowledge it is worth it. As you know, journalism provides people with the information they need to make good decisions about their lives, their communities, their societies, and their governments. Look no further than the role journalism has played in this COVID-19 reality. Not only do we think it's important work, it's work you can be passionate about. Some of you will leave our online gathering tonight as winners of our individual awards, but students in the second and third year of the program have heard me say this before. Awards are subjective, and they are. If it was easy to judge our awards, I would be really disappointed, because it would mean we did not challenge each other enough throughout the year. As instructors, we talk a lot about building your portfolio and building a brand for yourself. Just think about the work you've done this year. In no particular order, and not a complete list by any means, we've written about Durham College's amazing sports season, Canadian championships in soccer and baseball, an Ontario championship in rugby, and strong seasons in volleyball and women's basketball. We wrote about student elections, federal elections. In fact, 2 of our students got up close and personal with Justin Trudeau. We wrote about DCSI, even ate a little DCSI popcorn in the pit. We wrote about a $48 million building going up at Ontario Tech. We produced special print issues on campus athletes, the music scene in Durham Region, and the important people on campus at both schools. We did some weather stories, covered Haley Wickenheiser and Bill Nye the Science Guy. Well, we sort of covered Bill Nye. We wrote about cannabis and smoking bans on campus. We covered a mock disaster on campus, wrote about Shawn Mendes, Marina, Daniel Caesar, David Bowie, the Rolling Stones, Elton John, and Kiss all playing in Oshawa. We wrote about the Ontario Tech debut of men's and women's basketball. We covered the DeFonte Miller trial. We wrote about video games and esports and video games and esports. Sadly, we had to write about an Ontario Tech instructor killed in Flight 752 in Iran. We had to write about GM closing its doors. Climate change, geothermal fields, and soccer fields. We wrote about the Arkells in Oshawa, but sadly not about them playing at Durham College. We scribbled live, we made graphics, we did podcasts, we went to RMG Fridays, we visited the courthouse, we visited City Hall, or should I say the City Hall basement. We went to Ontario Tech Hockey, we produced news, profiles, and features. We had guest speakers, like Jason Miller from the Toronto Star, who is a grad of our program. Rob Leth of Global TV, another grad of our program. Tom Lynch of Campus Safety. Dave Selby, the Director of Corporate Communications for Durham Regional Police. Jim Hanman, former executive producer of CBC's Quirks and Quarks. Ira Haberman of the Sound Podcast. Lindsay Sample of Discourse Media, and Eugenia Ochoa from the Ontario Council for International Cooperation, to name just a handful. We also found time to go to Guatemala, twice. And we want to thank Jamie Aaron of Students Offering Support for his and his organization's enormous, well, and obvious support of this project. Behind the scenes, we worked to launch a joint 4-year diploma degree integrated journalism media studies program with Trent University, which starts this September. In the midst of the COVID outbreak, first-year students did their very first interviews and stories, many of them related obviously to the ramifications of COVID, but also reports on things like why there's no football program at Ontario Tech, how students want cheaper, better food on campus, and why you pay for parking and a U-Pass. You do great work, and other people see that. The Ontario Community Newspapers Association Awards has selected the Chronicle as a finalist for both Best Newspaper and Best Website among all college and university newspapers and websites in the province. We should have learned by now how we did in those awards, but the ceremony has been COVID delayed. So once again, to all Durham College journalism students, you've produced all kinds of great stories this year, and we look forward to the next stories you write, both in journalism and in life.
Good evening, Anine. My name is Greg Murphy, and I'd like to start by acknowledging that Durham College sits on the lands of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nations, within the territory covered by the Williams Treaties. That's normally where we work and learn. I don't know where you are right now, but please think for a moment of who was there before you. I'm speaking to you from my home. It's located on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabeg, Attawandaron, Haudenosaunee, and Lenapehoik peoples on lands connected with London Township and Sombra Treaties of 1796 and the Dish with One Spoon Covenant wampum. I respect the long-standing relationships that Indigenous nations have had to this land. They are its original caretakers. I also acknowledge the historical and ongoing injustices that Indigenous peoples endure in Canada. And I accept my responsibility to contribute towards revealing and correcting miseducation, as well as renewing respectful relationships with Indigenous communities through leadership and community service. Chi miigwech. Next, I'd like to acknowledge the faculty. This outstanding team of educators is led by Coordinator Brian Legree, in alphabetical order, Brandon Carson, John Cooper, Teresa Goff, Daniel Harder, Anne-Marie Jackson, Anita Lee, Joanne McDonald, Julie Pigeon, Manjula Selvaraja, Kenyon Wallace, and Dan Williams. Thank you for all that you do. Great program. I admire its constant evolution to meet the challenges of both contemporary journalism and education. In my 10 years working with you, I've seen you develop myriad learning experiences, including collaborations with several Aboriginal communities in Ontario, and international opportunities for your students in the Caribbean, Peru, Kenya, and Guatemala. Another achievement is the development of the Chronicle newsroom. Do you all remember that place? I tried to go for a visit every day. I loved seeing all you hardworking people, students and teachers, going about your work with great energy and enthusiasm. You've established a working newsroom in the downtown of the Oshawa campus. Fabulous. The journalism program is now celebrating 45 years of graduating students who have gone on to work at the Toronto Star, CBC, CTV, and Global, the National Geographic, and the failing New York Times, as well as dozens of other news outlets across Canada. Many of our alums are also doing communications-related work for government and various corporations. I think it's important that you've treated the students like journalists, and I think it's equally important that the students rose to the challenge. To the students, thank you for making me feel welcome in the newsroom. I love what you do, for each other, for the Chronicle, and for the college. You chose a good program, and you made it a great experience. I'm grateful for your commitment, and I hope you retain your enthusiasm. The last time I saw you, on March 12th, you were all students, and now you're journalists. To me, that's a very important and valuable achievement. You are professional journalists. Your audience is us. We will now depend on you to form our worldview. We expect journalists to find and reveal significant information to help us become engaged citizens. We expect you to do more than your share of the hard and constant work of maintaining a democracy on our behalf. I believe that journalists reveal and put into context issues of importance to a specific audience, whether those issues arise from the center of society or from its margins. This is the nourishment that democracy needs in order to survive. Your profession is the nexus between those who govern and those who are governed. As journalists, you remind us of what we should expect from our elected officials and remind the government who they serve. A functioning democracy needs informed citizens to make their own decisions based on facts, both about policies and politicians. You have learned to research with purpose, listen, watch, and read critically, and to write and speak clearly. You've learned to use these skills locally and internationally, telling your stories and helping other people tell their stories. Thank you for all that you do, and please keep doing it. Later in the program, we'll hear from Lynn Sutcliffe. Every year for the past 5, Lynn and her daughter Alana have presented the Sean Sutcliffe Award in memory of her son Sean, who was an excellent student, well loved by his teachers and fellow students. It's fitting that this award recognizes a journalism student who is a team player, overcomes obstacles to learning, and contributes to the learning environment in a positive, professional way. I hope you all enjoy this celebration and make the best of the evening. I've enjoyed my time with you, and I'm disappointed the semester has such a weird finish. Although I hear you're about to do some very interesting things in collaboration with Global News. Congratulations again. Please stay connected with each other and stay safe. I hope you have a great evening. Thanks for listening.
Hi everybody, it's Don Leviza, President of Durham College. Welcome to this year's Online Journalism Awards, and congratulations to all the students who have participated and to those who are going to take home the prizes this year. Very well done. You know, the journalism program has been around for 45 years at Durham College, and for me, has a special place for me as I have an opportunity to meet with students on a regular basis, and being located in the pit has really helped increase the profile of students in their work. So I want to say congratulations to all the students, to your faculty members, and the community that support you. Well done. Have fun.
Thank you, Don and Greg. We're so happy you could join us virtually. And that brings us to the part of the evening that we're all here for, the awards. We'll start with our first year students who persevered through a pandemic to publish their first stories on the Chronicle online last week. Congratulations, you are now officially student journalists. We'll get to the awards in a minute, but before that, here's a look back at their first year. Congratulations, everyone, and not just those of you that leave with an award. It's cliche to say, but it is true. It was very difficult to choose the best because so many of you did such great work. We'll now turn our attention to our second year students. If you've spent any time in the newsroom, you'll know that it's a little bit like a TV sitcom at times. There's lots of hard work, but there's lots of fun too. This year, the second year students have made their own video, one that Melanie Lennon has had in the making since last September.
What is a newsroom? According to Google, a newsroom is the area in a newspaper or broadcasting office where news is written and edited. With that in mind, I present to you the Chronicle.
We should bring this back to the Chronicle. This is how I record my podcast from now on. Any standout moments for you? Right in front of Ryan's face! Morgan was like... I just wanted to see the bomb.
Yeah, but then we'll see it. We'll have a better picture of it. Go behind it. It's a win-win. Yeah, it's still there. It's underwater. It's a fish. Wait, what? What did he... Okay, don't fall.
My organization is proud to select chess club.
Wow! What are you gonna miss most of this?
The chaos in the newsroom after hours.
Dim the lights. Here we go. Ryan Seacrest pops up. This is a disaster. How am I supposed to ask all these questions?
That's like Chronicle after hours in a nutshell.
But more dancing.
I dance.
I'm gonna enjoy my night.
You guys stay to like. Yeah. Now front back. Work. All. We have a lot of personalities in the classroom, so it's been kind of a miracle that we've all been able to be in the same room.
It's pronounced gift because it stands for, it's not
Graphics.
it's graphics.
No, thank you.
But
Do you
he
hand out
himself
Christmas
said
gifts or do you hand out Christmas gifts?
He himself
It's
said it's
graphics,
you.
not giraffics.
You can't drink grape juice with chocolate
And
cake.
also,
Milk
milk
juice
is
with
good.
chocolate. You can't drink water with chocolate cake. Doesn't taste as good.
You don't need
You
to drink
dip your
anything.
cookies in milk?
It's a match made in heaven.
And finally, our third year awards. This is a small but special group that I was fortunate to spend a lot of time with this year. Before we get to their awards, here's a look back at the year that was.
And this brings us to the special awards part of our evening. We give out 3 special awards every year, and the first award goes to a first year student, a second year, and a third year student. It's called the Boots to the Ground Award. And this award is awarded to students who have shown personal and professional growth during the course of their time here in the journalism program. Students who have worked at effective storytelling, students who have developed their skills, and who have worked hard to better their craft. This year's Boots to the Ground Award goes to... And the next award that we give out every year is in memoriam of a journalism professor here at Durham College named Jerry Rose. And for anyone who knew Jerry, they would remember Jerry for his kindness, his attention to detail, and his green editing pen. So the Jerry Rose Special Award is awarded to just one student. And this is a student, I'm just going to read off my notes here so that I can really give you a sense of what this award encapsulates. This is going to the student who meets the following criteria. Someone who has worked hard to get it right all the time. Someone who is diligent. Someone who has double-checked their facts. Someone who gets multiple sources, works with CP style, and maintains professional integrity, professional communication, as well as professional attendance. And I'm very pleased to announce that this year's Jerry Rose Get It Right Award goes to and finally, we award a very special honor, and I'm sorry, this is always a difficult award to speak about. It is for a student of ours named Sean Sutcliffe. And we have two special guests who visit us every single year, and their names are Alana and Lynn. Lynn is Sean's mom. And before I give the award out, I would like to throw it over to Alana and to Lynn to talk about Sean Sutcliffe.
Hi everybody, I'm Lynn Sutcliffe and this is my daughter Alana Hewitt and our puppy Sassy. Sassy is named after my son, Alana's brother, Sean Allen Sutcliffe, his initials, and a part of Alana's personality. She could be a little sassy at times. I want to thank the Durham College Journalism Dream Team, Brian, Danielle, Teresa, Greg, and all others for having the awards virtually this year and having us here with the honor of doing the lead-in to the announcement of the 5th annual Sean Sutcliffe Award winner. And today we do have the honor of having Sean with us in a different way. He's a very powerful presence when he was here and spiritually, and now we have his Durham College picture and his 2 awards for the 2015 Best Second Year Editorial and News or Magazine feature, and his diploma that I accepted on his behalf. So I thank you very much for that, for all your support from the time Sean left and ongoing, and it is beyond words to really let you know how much we appreciate it. Sean was a wonderful guy, a friend to everyone in class and that he met from the time he was born. He was funny, bright, inquisitive, passionate when he found out something was not working as it should, bright, kind. He was the go-to person for many, many of his classmates when they had a problem of one kind or another. And I know that it is a very, very hard decision for the Journalism Dream Team to select a winner every year because you are all worthy. You're all wonderful in your own ways. You have made a difference in each other's lives and the people you have connected with through your program and always. And I now just always have to say a little bit about mental health because we lost our Sean to suicide on May 12, 2015. Mental health is important every day, always. It is even more important now. While there are numerous wonderful acts of kindness happening and people coming together to show support, it's also really, really hard. So every day, and especially now, I want you to all look inside. You know yourself best, and if you're struggling in any way, please reach out. There are numerous resources, just a Google search away, just to mention a few. Your college campus wellness center is open, and I also noticed this week they announced financial assistance because some of you may have lost part-time jobs, summer jobs. Very, very, very hard. So please look into that if it fits you. And there's also Youth Mental Health Canada, and the ones I'm mentioning are going to be websites, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Jack.org has compiled an amazing group of resources for specifically dealing with COVID-19 as well as all other mental health issues that youth face every day. So that is a fantastic resource. For you sports fans, Michael Oops, we had a little technical difficulty there, but Lana, who is much better at these kinds of things than I, will fix it up. Anyways, yes, Michael Landsberg's Sick Not Week for you sports fans. He is also now doing a daily, probably just during the week, Isolation Nation. I'm not sure if it's a webcast but really the resources are out there in full force right now to help you. So please, if you need it, reach out. There's always the Distress Center Durham, 24/7 crisis line, as well as certain hours of the day for texting if you're not comfortable with voice-to-voice. You can remain completely anonymous. Durham Mental Health. There's great anxiety apps, Calm, Headspace. So please always check in with yourself. And if you need help, it's a sign of strength to reach out. And now, without further ado, except for a little shout out to Jackie. I'm pretty sure you're doing the 3rd year. Jackie Graves was the winner of the 4th annual Sean Sutcliffe Award. So deserving, such an amazing person. Love you, wish I was there to catch up with you in person, give you a hug, but we'll see you on Facebook. And now, without further ado, we will turn it back to the Dream Team to announce the winner. Thank you. See you next year in person.
Thank you so much, Lynn. I would like to define the criteria for this very special award. And again, I'll go to my notes. This is going to 2 students actually this year. And it's a bit of a tie because there are 2 students who meet this criteria. 2 students who have exhibited professionalism, who have engaged with their mentors, who have overcome obstacles to learning, and put in their time, their effort, and their persistence to be a good journalist. And here's the part I think that really speaks to Sean in his memory. These students are people who have contributed to the learning environment in a positive way by being team players. And I'm very happy to announce that the 2 students who have won this award are...
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. A special thanks to all of the moms, dads, grandparents, aunts, uncles, spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, siblings, everyone who has been in our Students' Corner for the past 8 months. We're so proud of the positivity that everyone showed when we had to move everything, newsroom and all, online about a month ago. But we're also proud of the great work everyone did in the 7 months before that. So we're very glad that we could still host this event, even virtually, to celebrate that success. Before we leave, one huge shout out to the event management students who did such a fantastic job of organizing what was supposed to be an in-person event, but then transferring it online very quickly. Special thanks to Alicia Beckett, Bailey DeBye, Danny McMullen, Harmanjeet Kaur, and their wonderful professor, Tricia Wiseman. A few other final thanks to the City Idea Lab in Oshawa that has supported our students all year. And finally, to Global News. Hopefully, when we're finally back in person, you'll find out why we're thanking them. So congratulations on a wonderful year. Congratulations to all of our graduates. We wish you all the very best in future. And to our first-year students, we can't wait to see you back in the newsroom.